One of your auditions was for a male role, Kara. I love this. I had a client who was kind of masculine presenting. She was a woman, but she was kind of masculine presenting. And she used to audition for a lot of roles that were written for men, and she booked them. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay,
Well, I think we're ready to go, Casey. So I think we can get this show on the road, as
let's
they
do
say.
it. Let's do it.
Just a little recap. If you weren't here with us last week, we talked about love, right? All
Mhm.
kinds of love. And today we're going to talk about obstacles.
What gets in the way, right? So it's not that easy to go after what you love. There are real obstacles in our lives and in the lives of the characters you're creating. Sometimes the same kind of obstacles.
Yeah, they can be physical, emotional, even spiritual obstacles, right? In fiction and in the world.
Yes, absolutely. And for some of you who are new, I'm Casey. I'm your acting and audition coach.
And I'm Donna-Marie, and I'm your mindset and visualization coach here at Screen Acting School.
She sure is. So, in the juicy world of storytelling, there are inner and outer obstacles that our characters face. And this is something that I love teaching to actors because they often don't think about the difference between the inner and outer obstacles. So let's break it down to the different kinds of obstacles so you get a sense of what it is. So there are physical obstacles, actual barriers in the way of what your character wants to get. So this is the Tom Cruise kind of things, right? So there's a mountain to climb, there's a stormy sea to cross, there's a locked door standing in the way of what your character wants. Those are physical obstacles, those are external obstacles.
Yeah. And then there's emotional obstacles, right? That inner turmoil. So these are the feelings that really like tug at a character's heartstrings, you know? So maybe overcoming grief, battling some deep-seated fears, maybe imposter syndrome, or just wrestling with those feelings of unworthiness. Those are all emotional obstacles.
And I'm sure that you can identify with some of those. Imposter syndrome is something we hear all the time from our clients.
Not
And then
from that.
there are societal obstacles. So status is a huge obstacle for characters. So sometimes a character has to break free. They have to break free from a societal expectation, something that is a cultural norm that they don't want to adhere to anymore, or
Mhm.
they're standing up against some sort of prejudice. So those are social obstacles that our characters face and we face.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's moral and ethical obstacles too, right? Kind of similar, but a little different. So when characters are facing those like gut-wrenching decisions, you know, choosing between loyalty to a friend and doing what's right, or deciding whether to tell a painful truth or just maybe keep a harmful secret.
I
Yeah,
had an
those,
obstacle the other day. I wanted cheesies and I couldn't get cheesies because my car was gone with my husband who buys the cheesies. So that obstacle was overcome. My husband is back. Thank you, Richard, for being concerned. External obstacles can be things like somebody is vying for the same thing that you want. So if you're one of those super smart guys and you're up for one of those super smart guy prizes, and there's somebody else who's up for that super smart guy prize. I thought I would remember the name of the prize. What is it? Like a obviously I'm not a super
I
smart guy.
don't know why I just keep Pulitzer Prize came to my
The
mind.
Pulitzer Prize. Yeah. So you're up for some sort of prize like that. And then there's somebody else up for it. They're your obstacle. But there are also like villains, right?
Mhm.
There are villains who are plotting your downfall, or even like a natural disaster, like, well, we just saw it in LA
Yeah.
with the fires. That is an external conflict or an external obstacle that your character will come up against.
Yeah. And then there's time-based obstacles, right? So that ever-ticking clock, you know, that creates importance and anticipation for what we're going after, right? So maybe you're racing against time to defuse a bomb or finding a cure before the disease takes over, completing a mission before dawn, you know, something like that, right? But remember, the magic happens when characters face these obstacles head on because they're transforming and growing along their journey, right? It's kind of that dance with challenges that make stories so compelling and so relatable.
So last week we covered objectives, which are things we want, things we love. A lot of times love is an objective, or it shows up in different ways, but love is a major objective. And we've covered obstacles. But what's really fascinating and rarely taught is how we go after our objectives, how we do it, what impact that has on whether it remains an obstacle or transforms into a challenge and an opportunity. So that's how we watch our character. That's how we do it in life, but it's how we watch our characters grow and change.
Yeah, exactly. So what the heck does Casey mean by that, right? Well, we're going to explain, so don't worry. So there's different ways that we experience objectives, right? What we want, those are your objectives. So there's ache, craving, urge, desire, need.
I'm just going to pop those in the chat now. So if you want to steal that, you can steal it, because these are really good. These are good things to have when you're thinking about creating your, how you're going to go after your objective. So all those things that Donna-Marie was talking about are desires. Desires require, and everybody lean in, except for if you're driving. Desires require immediate reaction. Acting is reacting, right? Sometimes it's different. Sometimes you have a response, and a response takes time. You give it consideration. The other emotions that Donna-Marie was just talking about, an ache, a craving, an urge, a desire, those are like an addiction. You feel this out of control need to immediately satisfy an ache, to immediately satisfy a craving. Like, I wanted those Jeezys. And you feel out of control if you don't. If you don't have them satisfied, you get pissy, or you you do whatever it is that you need to do. You're going to go make sure that want gets satisfied now. That desire, I should say, that craving. Do you want to pop your question into the chat, Sargon? Because I will answer it for sure. And or Donna-Marie, with whoever's the coach. Pregnancy cravings, totally. Yeah, you must have it now. But a want, what you want, it requires effort, it requires patience and resilience. And most importantly, wants come with big obstacles most of the time.
Yeah, because a want is a long-term aspiration, right? So it's something you work towards. It's something you sacrifice for.
Yeah. So do you see the difference? Does this make sense to you? A difference between these other things that are immediate responses or reaction, and the things that are a want, something you'll work for?
Yeah, a thumbs up if this is making sense to you guys. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yes.
Seeing lots of
so let's get into tying. Sorry, Donna-Marie, I'm so excited. I love teaching this.
No, you're gonna go for it, Casey.
So when you tie your objective, what you want, to another character, so if what I want, I need from you specifically, then you start to do things to change that other character, and you look for a reaction from them. Make sense? You are trying to get a reaction out of them. So if you ache for love, I'm going to ache for love, then I'm going to seduce you. And if I'm seducing you, I'm going to want a particular reaction from you. So I'm going to do something to seduce you, and I'm going to want a reaction. If I don't get it, then I'm either going to feel rejected, or I'm going to try a little harder. But you're going to make sure that you get that thing that you ache for. If you crave attention, then you're going to try and impress people. And you're going to keep trying to impress them, even if they're like, whoa, 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 you are too much. Make sense? Yeah? No? Yeah? Kind of? Maybe? I'm hoping you're not watching me like a TV show. I'm hoping you're engaged and involved. Because if you're not engaged and involved, if you're watching me like a TV show, this is all wasted, and you're not an actor. Just want to make this clear. This is not a show. I want you to be here and learn. So what was I doing there? I was teaching, yes. Anything else? Demanding, yeah, reinforcing, yeah, looking for a reaction from you, trying to get a reaction from you. Because what I want and what I will work for until the day that I die, probably, is to get that actor whose life I can change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's whatever, you know, if you're good and you do the work, it's you. But if you're not, we don't.
Yeah.
Exercising my First Amendment right. I'm Canadian, but I'll take it. If you crave attention, you try to impress. So I tried to impress upon you this so that you would give me your attention.
Mm-hmm.
If I have an urge to dominate, I'll belittle you. So if I was going to say the same thing to you, I will belittle you. I would be like, all right, I would like your attention. It's a different thing. I have a different desire. If I have a desire for love, real love, I will adore you. All right. I need your attention. I will adore you. If I want this badly, it's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a craving. I need this now. So we want to see this in action, right? You want to see this in action? Let's see what happens when we see it in action. Okay. So we have a little plan here. I'm going to be a rebel. This may be no surprise to anyone who knows me. I'm going to be a rebel. And who do you think is going to be the girl next door in this situation? Donna-Marie. My obstacle is my self-esteem. My obstacle as rebel is my self-esteem. I don't think she's really going to like me. I don't think she's really going to hang out with me. Her obstacle is her good upbringing. She's taught to make people feel good. Might not sound like an obstacle, but it can be. Okay. So I'm going to ask her, we're going to show you this in two different ways because we're going to change it so you can see the difference. So heads up, here we go. So a little bit of a rebel. Let's cut class.
No, I can't do that.
What are you, chicken?
No, I just don't want to break the rules.
So my objective was to get Donna-Marie, the girl next door, to skip school. I tempted her and she was kind to me because she's written that way with a craving to be liked and it must be satisfied immediately. But let's change that. Her objective is to be liked, right? That's her craving. She craves to be liked. However, let's give her a want. And let's give her a want that is a long-term objective to go to a good university. Her reaction is going to change. The obstacle to be liked will be to be liked, and the objective to make others feel good, that's going to change. She's going to sacrifice fun so she can do what she really wants. So we're going to give it a shot with the same dialogue, but Donna-Marie has a want for her objective instead of one of those more addictive kind of objectives. Let's cut class.
No, I can't do that.
What are you, chicken?
No, I just don't want to break the rules.
Same dialogue, different response because the objective has changed. The girl's next door objective now is to shut me down. She's going to be polite, but she's going to shut me down because she has a want that she's willing to sacrifice for. She wants to go to school. So the obstacle to behave kindly now becomes different. It's no longer an obstacle. You smell what I'm cooking? Now it's a challenge. Now it's a challenge that's going to build character. She's going to still behave kindly, but she's going to stand up for her values. So that challenge, turning that obstacle into a challenge now gives her an opportunity. So when you think about these words, challenge, opportunity. So the obstacle becomes a challenge. The challenge becomes an opportunity to consider the time, what she really wants. And then, just like in life, it builds character. We are now seeing her character build, her character change, her become more stronger. That's not the right word. To become stronger. She's becoming stronger. So the obstacle has changed. She has transformed it with her want.
Yeah. Virginia's saying it's like you guys know exactly what I'm working on and struggling with. This is giving me a breakthrough with a character I'm working on. So happy to hear that, Virginia. For those of you that don't know, as I said at the beginning, I'm the mindset and visualization coach, not an actor. But it's very easy, right? When you understand that, it really, really changes things. So
Mhm.
that is cool. Landon saying harder, better, faster, stronger. Good one, Landon. Um, Richard saying was not able to break the rules as if she was trained not to. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Many of us are trained that way, right? You're
Yeah.
allowed to be nasty. And Virginia, I just want to give you a big whoop whoop. Virginia just spoke again.
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 So good. So good. And Landon, you were the one who got it stuck in my head.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
It's all
Brian.
about specificity.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love this. Um,
Hmm.
Allie's saying, so what if for whatever reason you want certain things in the scene, but you're confused with the overall objective? I realize it has to be clear, but sometimes it switches for me and then it confuses me and I struggle with this.
Oh, wow. How fantastic is that? That's a great question. So when you have an objective. So in in life, in life we have super objectives just like we do in acting. So in acting in the film or the series or the scene, you'll have a super objective. You'll have something that is the main thing you want. So Donna-Marie's main want is to go to university, let's say. Her main want is to go to university. Her first objective might be to um, make me feel good. And then a next objective might be to dismiss me. Those sound like tactics, but they're also things you want, correct? Does this make sense? Yeah,
I'm saying
good.
that.
So your objective will change and it can change moment to moment, just like in life,
Mhm.
just like in life. And it is confusing. So, what I recommend that you do, Allie, and for everyone, is play. Start to play. So if you're in Audition Plus, but even if you're not in Audition Plus, I think I might have something for you.
Oh,
Oh,
Whoever's humming, I absolutely love that. That's how I
sorry.
that's
that's
okay.
okay.
I do that myself all the time just
I also hum.
to process things. Yeah. But anyway, long story short, play with play with this idea. Okay. There are, and this will seem like it's off track, but it's not. There are emotions that bridge other emotions. So you can start in one emotion, and then there'll be another emotion that bridges that emotion. You'll end in a third emotion. So as you're doing that, you can look at how your objectives will change as the emotion changes, or how your emotion changes as your objective changes. But if you look at those bridge emotions, I'm just going to grab. Are you guys okay if we go off path? Do we have enough time?
I'm okay with it. We do have time. And as you're looking for that, Casey, I'm going to ask Sargon to pop in his question again. I'm sorry to do that, but I think you probably popped it in earlier and I can't seem to find it. And I know you had a question. So if you don't mind popping that in the chat again,
Good
Sargon, so
idea.
for that for you. I don't want to miss
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So say for example, I can just do this. I don't need to look at my handouts. I like handouts because I make pretty handouts. But um, so say you start with one emotion. Say you start with hope. So the emotion is hope. I hope this goes well. And then there is something that causes you to be curious. And from that curiosity, you now have doubt. But you don't go from hope to doubt right away. You have the bridge emotion that takes you there. And if you want to be able to go through, and Allie, this will really help you. If you want to be able to go through and see what really feels right in terms of your objective, start playing with the emotions and see, oh, okay, that feels wrong. If I go to from curiosity is a great bridge emotion. So if I go from hope to curiosity and the character is supposed to end up doubtful and it doesn't feel right, what if I went to acceptance? okay, things are the way they are. I'm no longer hopeful. I accept how things are. And now I really doubt you. So you can play with those emotions, and playing is the operative word. You don't want to get stuck in there. You don't want to feel like, oh my God, now I can only feel this emotion. You want to play and then move around in those emotions. Make sense?
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely. And Sargon saying, so are the sub-objectives dictated by the super objective? That's Sargon's question.
What a fabulous question. The answer is yes and no, like all of the good answers, right? Like sometimes the sub-objective is dictated by the super objective. However, it depends on what's going on situationally. So you'll hear me often talk about given circumstances. Given circumstances are the story, what's going on in the story. So it's the who am I, where am I, what am I doing, what do I want? And the where am I could be something that affects it. For example, so Sargon, you can imagine you're in a coffee shop and your objective is to say it's a spy movie, and your objective is to hear what the people at the table next to you are talking about. You want to get this information. You're trying to record them surreptitiously and all that kind of stuff. And then there's a little kid who's playing in the corner, and they're just adorable. I don't know if you're me, but if you're me, you're easily distracted by 2-year-olds. So then you're like, oh, that is so cute. And then your objective becomes to sort of play with the 2-year-old. And then you get pulled back. You're like, oh, no, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I'm here for. I'm a spy. I'm supposed to do this. I mean, that is kind of a weird setup, but I'm going on the fly. But things can distract you. Things can happen to distract you. And that's situational, and it has to do with the story. We need the spy to be distracted so that people can run out the door and get away from the spy. So the spy has now another obstacle they've left. And now the little kid has become the obstacle. Smell what I'm cooking? So sometimes it leads all up, and sometimes it's not. But that feeds the plot. So that new objective always feeds the story, the given circumstances.
Yeah. Before we end here, I'm gonna say a few things, but I'm going to say we went live on YouTube today for the very first time. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to join us live, then please do. We would love to have you here. So you can grab the link and come and join us weekly, Tuesdays, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. So I want to say that. And I hope that what we've given you here today is a little bit of food for thought, right? So that you can get started, you can jump into this. Before we close, I want to talk to you about want in your own life. We've talked about wants and objective, right? And there's a lot of talk nowadays about, manifestation. And I'm a visualization and mindset coach, right? That's a buzzword. And I want to tell you, yes. You're told if you want something, you can have it. And that's true. That is very, very true. But there's a cost. Okay? Because the question is, what do you mean by want? Because I'll tell you right now, to want something means to work for it. It literally means sacrifice. We started out this lesson by talking about that. That wasn't by accident. Because work is sacrificial. It's a sacrificial enterprise. So what work does is it sacrifices the present, this immediate gratification, for the future, right? For that future goal, that future want. And if that isn't what you're doing, you're not working. And I'm telling you that right now. So, and that can be effortful, right? It's full of responsibility, but it works. So you have to think, when you're thinking about your wants for your life, I want to be an award-winning actor. I want to be a lead in this series, right? So you have to think, what is worth giving up that selfish short-term pleasure in service of? And is it this? Because I will tell you right now, even manifestation, although people will have you believe it's this, it's poof, it takes work. It takes work. So I want you guys to all get really clear this week, take some time to think about it on what you mean by want. Really, really important. So I want to thank you all for joining us. As you know, we give you a lot in these free classes. You're dipping your toes in a little bit, but Audition Plus is where we really do the work. And we show you how to make this career happen. So registration is closed right now, but if you do want to get in, then you can get on the wait list. So I will pop in the link for you all to grab there if you would like to be on the wait list. You can go ahead and do that. Carrie, you are so welcome. I'll give everyone a minute to grab that. Virginia says, I'll be missing class next week because I'll be on set. Thank you guys.
Yay!
You're so welcome, Virginia. We're so happy to hear that. Brittany says, thank you. Ladies, this was fantastic. You're welcome. Michael says, I second that. Ryan, so glad to see you here. I was texting.
You made it. Yay.
Yeah, so great. You are all so welcome. Thank you for the great classes, Sargon. Anand says, thank you, ladies. You're wonderful. Emma says, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So welcome. So I hope everyone
Susan, you just wrapped?
Oh, fantastic.
You didn't even tell us you booked. Oh, sorry. I don't think I was supposed to say that. That was a direct message. Sorry. But I'm so proud of you, Susan.
Yeah, we're so happy. So happy. We will see you all soon. I hope everyone has had the chance to grab that link if you would like to be on the wait list. As I said, registration is closed at the moment, but we are accepting people on the wait list. So
something I want to just add before we go. When we take people into Audition Plus, it's not first come, first serve. And we want people to be very aware of that. What we want to know is, are you committed? Are you committed? So tell us in your application, tell us, I am committed. Like, whether you think that we're going to believe, already know that or not, just tell us I am committed. And then also tell us, what is your dream and what is your passion? Because we want to know that so that we have a really great community and we don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
We want to have people who are hardworking and who are going to do the work in our classes. So if you can do that for us, we will be forever in your debt.
Absolutely. And Casey, I think that is going to be a wrap for us. What do you think?
I think so too. We're going to wrap it up.
Me too. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a
You're
great
still crying.
Tuesday. We'll see you next week.